Forge ahead. Never linger.
That's funny. I only just now noticed that my microphone was off, so all of that ranting and raving was just for my own entertainment. Good morning, everyone. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day. Wish all the mothers a fine day, and everybody who supports mothers. It's a good day. Wore some 40K. Once again, I'm obsessed with Road Trader. I was singing high praises about the story and characters and making commentary about all that. I guess I'll do that again sometime. I'm not in the mood to repeat all of myself again for the microphone now that it's on. Without further ado, Achilles Quint. The stooped man, wearing a hood of the Adeptus Administratum, is reviewing information on a data slate while his quietly whirring mechanical arms fill a long scroll with writing. Upon noticing you, the man stretches his thin lips to a smile and deferentially bows. The light in his eyes of the servo skull hovering over his right shoulder gently pulsing. I could have given him a servo skull.
Your Lordship, what an honor it is to address you in person. Allow me to introduce myself. Achilles Quint, Prefectus of the Officio Agricolte. I will preserve the record of our conversation forever.
Forever, Achilles? That's a very long time. I'm sure you're quite knowledgeable, but I gotta sift through a lot of bullshit in order to get to it, don't I? Let's start with the attack.
A disgraceful incident. Simply disgraceful. I cannot believe these scoundrels would dare to come so close. And to drag the nobility into this as well. If they penetrated the estate, that means they had help from some worthless servant or other. Security is currently questioning the survivors, but the culprit has not been found yet.
Achilles Quint smiles unpleasantly. This guy loves his job. Let's talk about the governor, who's just fine.
Oh, I must confess, the news of her arrest has shaken me to my core. May I speak openly? I admit that I haven't got a bad word to say about the governor yet, and I hope that when you appraise her efforts, your anger will change to mercy. The governor is a superb leader. She possesses an excellent grasp of all matters, and never uses an incorrect form for a given situation. I do not pry into her personal affairs, but if I may speak plainly, a lady who fills out paperwork with such finesse cannot be a bad person in my view.
Oh, this guy's a lovable fool. You're a dummy, Achilles, but I adore you. I don't care about your duties. Tell me about the Eldar. Achilles looks askance at Juliet and offers a strange smile.
A highly exceptional individual. After today's regretful event, I am beginning to hold her talents in particular esteem. Verily, even mutants who have seen the light of the God Emperor can faithfully serve his flock.
People are so extraordinarily deluded. She's obviously not human. She's an elf.
Moreover, Juliet's particular abilities could be an interesting subject of study for the Magos biologists. That elongated head shape, those eyes, judging by the skull that was given to me to send on to footfall, such developmental anomalies on Manus are not a quirk of nature, but some kind of inheritable trait.
So he's not a fool. Juliet freezes completely, turning into a living statue.
What did you say? Oh, madam, have my words upset you? I'm certain your kinsman would be delighted to learn that people wish to make pretty presse-papier out of his remains. And besides, I could be wrong about the nature of his origins.
Yeah. What skull are you talking about?
A most remarkable item. I must say, a true anomaly. One moment.
After rummaging in a nearby container, Attilius draws out a parcel which he immediately unwraps.
Here it is. I believe the unfinished piece was intended to be given as a gift to the governor, but under the current circumstances, I doubt I would be able to send it to football anytime soon.
Juliet stares at the skull in silence. You can see her jaw working under her delicate skin. After a few seconds, she abruptly turns away. Pascal's mechadendres reach towards Attilius with interest, seeming to unnerve him. Adequately preserved, it is a pity that it is empty inside. It could have been a proper serval skull herald for the rogue traitor. Unorthodox. That's enough.
Oh, yes, of course.
Attilius hurriedly returns the skull to the container.
Tell me about it. Alas, your lordship, rebellions have caused us too many problems in recent times. The rebels are interfering with established processes, interrupting supplies, sabotaging the serfs' work. A few nobles have been killed, and worst of all, some of the victims occupied important administrative posts. Until their replacements pass their checks, complete all their induction forms, and go through the official appointment procedure, important paperwork is going unsigned. It's a bureaucratic catastrophe.
Oh, the lack of humanity.
If things continue in this vein, I dare not even imagine what it could lead to. There are worlds that are ravaged by war for generations. Generations, your lordship. Like that deranged planet by the nameless star, so close to our own peaceful system. The inhabitants are there supposedly live under the patronage of rogue traitor Winterscale. I shudder to think what he has created there.
Okay, finally, something useful. I want to know details. Where have the rebels struck?
Of course. I would be delighted to furnish you with all the information I have. In the last few months, 15 organized attacks, 7 terrorist attacks have been perpetrated. Irrigation equipment has been sabotaged in agrarian sectors 3 through 5. Transport routes 2, 7, 4, 13, and also, I suppose this will not tell you much. Please, with a fussy gesture, he presses several buttons on his data slate screen. A three-dimensional map, coordinates of the attacks appear on the cogitator. Logic test succeeded. Thank you, Pascal. The data is superbly collated, and the map clearly displays the actions of the rebels. At first glance, there seems to be no logic to their campaign, but after analyzing the data, the foreseeable features of the terrain, you notice a clear system indicating a geographical pattern to their attacks. Who's directing those rebels? As I mentioned, The rebels are well armed and well trained. What's more, the governor's advisors are inclined to think that the instigators of the rebellions are very familiar with the planet's terrain and climate. My ordinates are going through registration records day and night, looking for individuals who have completed military training, but we have so far been unable to identify the scoundrel.
might be from off-planet. What are you doing personally to address the rebel problem?
Our security services are tracking those who support the rebels, and our regular wardens are wiping out these saboteurs without the slightest mercy. But they keep appearing. My scribes have been run off their feet, keeping records of all public hearings and executions. But I am confident that the governor will find a solution soon.
That is all for now, Achilles. Thank you.
Of course, your lordship. I will take my leave. I look forward to meeting you again, your lordship.
Fine servant of the Emperor, that one. Around. I suppose it's not weird to have skulls in your pocket. Bill really loves his job, though. Gotta respect that.
Marching ahead.
There's stuff going on somewhere.
My warp sight reveals something.
Venture forth.
One and it's done.
Auto gun. Hot shot las gun. That looks good. Damages observed. Got my hot shot las gun. That looks cool. That'll go great with add some versatility to With all ranged weapons for my build is I always have the ability to torch people. I suppose having the burst fire is good. We'll just see how that works. Equipping stuff.
Let's seize the moment.
Hulking man dressed in a uniform marking him out as an officer of gubernatorial wardens is closely monitoring his subordinates as they surround the building. Sensing your approach, he whips around, his face going pale, as he offers a low bow.
Your lordship, please do not stray too close to the building. One of the terrorists from today's attack has holed himself up in there. He could be dangerous.
What's going on here?
Ready to report, your lordship. We conducted a sweep of the area after the attack. All the assassins were arrested or neutralized except for one.
The officer scowls darkly.
He sealed himself inside. He already injured 2 wardens who tried to reach him, but there's no need to worry. We'll poison him, clear the last dregs of dirt from the estate.
One Ashmag is up against all the wardens on this estate, and yet he's still causing trouble. Only 3. He would have already been made captain and put in charge of the governor's security. For the adulted one knows that he has more brains than all of you combined. That's, an astute observation. The officer tugs nervously at his collar, which appears to have suddenly become too tight for his comfort.
We will fix this right away.
I don't know how he got an accent all of a sudden.
I swear it on the throne.
Don't want to exterminate him. He might know something.
I'll talk to him. Are you sure? It's not exactly safe, your lordship.
The officer's eyes involuntarily sweep over you, sizing you up. Yeah, you dare question me? I put my life at risk every day. The officer seems to remember himself and offers another low bow.
Forgive me, your lordship. Act as you see fit.
At the officer's signal, the other wardens take a deferential step back, clearing your path to the door. When you approach the solid-looking door, a high, boyish voice shouts out, "Piss off! You won't take me alive! Better put a bullet in my brain than let the governor's dogs get their hands on me." The door looks solid, formidable. You notice dark marks on the hinges, a sure sign that the material is degraded. The lock doesn't look new either. With a subtle tool, it could easily be opened. Ooh, I finally get to do something. Yeah. It's a good thing I'm a roided out psychic mutant. I just grabbed the door and just busted off of its hinges. I look behind me quizzically at the ward and like, you guys couldn't do this? Step in through. Inside is poorly lit, but you spot a person standing in the far corner. He is desperately gripping a discharged lace gun in his hands. At the sight of you, his eyes widen in recognition and fear.
It can't be the rogue trader.
The young man, practically a boy, falls to his knees and stretches out his bloody hands towards you. His clothes are burned on one side and grimy with baked-in blood.
Your lordship, have mercy. You are the sovereign of this planet. Only you have the power to save us.
Is this one of the elusive and cunning rebels the governor has been fighting for months? Really? Youth is a time of recklessness. I heard that said more than once in the Scholia Progenium during my novitiate. But youth is also a time of directness. Let us listen to this young man before we judge him. Save you from what exactly?
From Governor
Viat! Everybody here knows that she's doing what she's doing to us. No one said a damn thing to me, not even the administrative clerks. We've put up with it for a long time, hoping that somebody would intervene and help us, but nobody ever did. She's turned the whole world into a slaughterhouse. People are rounded up like groks from the settlements, supposedly to go to the palace, but they are never seen again. Her servants pour something over the fields, and then people lose their minds. They start hearing voices and seeing evil spirits. And while we're dying, she's sitting behind her white walls and feasting on our bones. Juliet's face twists, sacrifices, madness, pain, and death. Even in so primitive a society as this, such rites seem senseless, not worthy of such efforts. What is this? A random quirk of nature, or something darker? I was taught that peasants have a tendency to exaggerate their suffering due to sloth and weakness of spirit. But this young man, vermilion thorns piece every centimeter of his body. The gray shackles bind his hands, feet, and neck. There are no lies in his words, only terror and desperation without end. Who's behind the rebel attacks? He swallows nervously and looks at you with fear.
Your lordship, I beg you, don't ask me that. I can't sell out my brethren.
It's over for me, but the others, I won't betray them. You're a good lad. Tell me about these evil spirits.
Yes. Yes. Others are going feral and attacking their loved ones.
And then there's... The boy lowers his voice.
People say that in some settlements, well, they've stopped upholding the laws altogether. Imperial law and the law of basic human decency. People are turning into animals.
Give him some honeyed words, Jade. There will be no end to the war
do that, I need to meet your leader. The boy hesitates for a few seconds and then his head drops. As long as you keep your word. I've never been in their camp. None of us have. Only the chief saw one person from their base. He came a few times, bringing weapons and orders. He said he represented a greater force than we could imagine, and he said that the governor's dogs would pay for their reprisals in the settlements. But that's not where they're hidden. They keep their distance from ordinary folks. We have it all worked out, so that if anyone gets caught, the others aren't caught with them. But I swiped the chief's fox. I thought after I killed the governor, I could use the message coordinates to find the base and hide out there. The boy retrieves a vox from his pocket and holds it out to you with his shaking hand. That's everything I know, your lordship.
Tempted to try and save his life, but I want them iconoclast points. This doesn't seem realistic. This seems naive at 40k. No one lives. Even I'm gonna die. The only thing good is for you to join your friends. I'm sorry. Goodbye. The one who passes the sentence not to swing the sword. The boy's body goes limp and drops to the floor. +5 unconsciousness. Dried berries.
The machine god grants the insight.
Corals, huh? I'll take it.
Let's see this through.
Hearing your footsteps, the elderly servant grabs an injector and stabs it into his arm. The area around the needle immediately starts turning black. You're too late, yes, dogs. I'm the master of my own fate. But when he gets a better look at you, the man drops the injector in astonishment and seems poised to prostrate himself on the floor before you.
It's you, your lordship. The God Emperor must have brought you here. I beg you, help the rebels and save Yanis.
He doubles up, hugging himself, and is racked by coughing that leaves his lips wet with blood.
Forgive me, your lordship. If only I'd known it was you. My eyes deceived me. We have little time now, but I swear I'll tell you everything.
Looking closely at the old man, the tech priest utters, "Nerve toxin." The inevitable cessation of vital functions is expected in no more than 60 seconds. Silent clicks emitted by his visor indicate an ongoing picture recording. Throne, damn you, old man! Where did you get this stuff? Poison capsules of this sort are popular among desperate ashmans who are done with being tortured by mad fanatics or worse. Here on Yanis, though, there is no antidote. Say your piece. In the name of the Golden Throne, your lordship, show mercy on the humble workers, the salt of Yanis. Save them, Vistenza Viat, the untouchable governor and leader of the nobility, is creating something monstrous behind closed doors. She uses the Imperium's interests as a smokescreen and purports to be a scholar, but her actions are poisoning our planet. Did you know that the settlements that fail to pay their due tithes on time have been allowed to pay with people instead? They even deliver them to order. Sometimes old folks, sometimes children. He lowers his voice to a whisper and leans towards you. I've seen those people. I've seen them being delivered to the estate, and then they are never seen or heard from again. They go into the secret rooms and they don't come out again, your lordship. Ever. Peasants who were taken to Europe 5 to serve Apocelia were never seen or heard from again either. They became loyal servants and toiled for the good of a great dynasty. Why should they ever return to their filthy, squalid abodes? The old servant lets out a moan. The dark stain on his arms seems to creep through his veins until his arms and neck are a latticework of black. The servant's breath quickens and becomes irregular. Not much time left. What are you going to use with your last seconds? Tell me more what's going on in these settlements. I'll tell you exactly what I was told by the people who contacted me. These tithes. Some settlements have already switched to paying with people. They say that amenable settlements get special treatments from the governor's dogs. They arrange for medicine to be supplied to the settlement, then security, and then they completely isolate them. All contact between those inside the settlement and the outside world is cut off. One lad managed to get out. He's the one who told me about all this. That the people are rotting alive in there. Strange growths, yellow eyes, stinking like dead bodies. The worst-looking ones are rounded up and taken away. The fellow who escaped seemed fine. Within a couple of days, the rebels picked him up. Within a couple of days of the rebels picking him up, he started seeing monsters instead of people. They had to lock him up away from other folks, or side. Then his wrists.
I see no shadows of deceit behind your words, and even so, I would have noticed. I know I would have noticed the signs of which you. Juliet's face tenses like a taut string, and doubt creeps into her expression. Except whenever Vistenza hosts one of her dances at the palace, she sends me away to search for the rebels, into the forests far from human settlements. You accuse the rogue traitor appointed governor of heresy. If your words are false, they themselves are tantamount to heresy. But if what you say is true, if it's true, then your sacrifice will be to your credit. Argenta utters these last words with impassioned conviction.
I swear I'm not lying. Pray for me, Holy Sister. For me and for Yanis. I'm not sure I'll last long enough to answer all your questions.
Tell me of these secret rooms.
Hidden chambers deep within the palace. I've never been inside, thankfully. The servants are allowed in, the ones the governor trusts. And they change. She changes them, pretties them up, defiles them. The old man starts to convulse, indicating that he is close to death. He raises his already unseeing eyes to you. Lordship, if you permit a dying man to make one last request, don't tell anyone that I was the one who unlocked the doors. If you do, they'll go after my family, my home.
I don't know if you confessed that already. Yeah, I'll keep your secret.
Please save us. Save Yanis.
The servant rasps violently, and the gap collapses on his side, racked with convulsion. No loot to speak of. Didn't get anything out of that. I should have executed you for the dogma points. Well. Curious where the desperately to speak to a smart person.
Onward to victory.
Draped in a red cloak, the Magos' body barely looks human. Wires, tubes, and metal manipulators turn him into a whimsical machine, while implants hide his face behind a sinister mask. The tech priest intermittently dictates something in technolingua to a servo skull floating next to it. but at your approach he falls silent and offers a reserved bow.
Greetings, your lordship. Lex Mechanic Vincilex. How may I serve you?
Pascal and the Lex Mechanic exchange trills of generic greetings. The series of sounds issued by Vincilex sounds much longer and more deferential than those of Pascal's. I found this on the body of a dead rebel. Can you tell me anything about these specimens? Your blessings for the examination may go. The Lex Mechanic waits respectfully until Pascal nods. The tech priest that studies the dry areas and goes still. You hear the distinct clicks of his cerebral cogitators processing this information. Creeping creeweed, typical plant of the Western Hemisphere. You have studied the possibility of industrial cultivation, but the process was found to be inefficient due to the specific requirements of the soil, which is found in the right composition only in the archipelagos of the planet. Things with you and your family. The current situation is assessed as stable. The progress of the prospect is assessed as encouraging. I'll bite. What do you do here, Lex? The tech priest's mechanical voice comes from the speaker on the snap. By the order of the Adeptus Mechanicus, I have been entrusted with the management of the Adeptus Administrator in order to catalog agronomic data and analyze information about the planet during the process of subjugating it to the will of the Imperium. Be blessed, Tech Brother. Your diligence and the diligence of those like you turns anarchy into order and bestows classification to knowledge. One of Pascal's mechanic dreads slightly touches the Lex Mechanic's body. The tech priest bows respectfully in return, clearly a little startled. Tell me about the planet. Initializing report. The planet's soil possesses a unique composition suitable for the re-engineering of the planet and the mass production of foodstuffs. Significant cultivation of the eastern hemisphere with the aim of improving production processes and logistics operations. Traces of xenoactivity that do not pose an immediate threat to ongoing operations. Undesirable pathologies of flora and fauna have been noted, which may pose a threat in the short term. What pathologies of flora and fauna? Genetic and chemical pathologies, your lordship. Harmless species mutate and become aggressive, while plants change their chemical composition and become poisonous. This is happening more and more often, and if no action is taken, the ecosystem of the world will be irreparably disrupted. The change may be artificial, has the possibility to consider that someone is manipulating the ecosystem to reduce our living space. Not at all, but our tech operates as biologists, not warriors. We could not have come up with a thought of such a militant nature. The mind must be open to all forms of knowledge. I order you to commence a check. In the event that your account of the indolence of the minds is confirmed, I will petition for the appropriate penance. It is the Lilithans wrath that is becoming manifest in nature itself, in the workings of this world. May the gods preserve us. How did we not notice this sooner? Juliet glances at you before sources of xenoactivity?
According to data obtained during the initial survey, ruined structures of non-human origin were noted in different sectors of the planet, but I did not have the administrative capacity to study them in more detail. For now, I must defer the quest for knowledge.
Irritates us all with that kind of talk. Careful with this next Lex. Lex mechanic speaks the last word with distinct ending. His eyes fix on Nagel's hand. How's the governor dealing with the situation?
I have analyzed the genome of the affected species and am currently developing suppressor genes to make the planet's organisms resistant to pathology.
But so far, I have not been able to solve any problem. Further exploration of the planet would perhaps speed up this process. But the administrative apparatus has imposed a ban on expeditions directly aimed at improving production. How many servants do you have?
According to data stored in my cogitator, all infrastructure nodes for food harvesting and processing have their own contingent of technologies. The total number amounts to 253. Correctly, based on latest data, the figure is 211 units.
We can speak later. That's the helpful.
Marching ahead.
Ilantak, Juliet gestures for your attention. As you once sought my help, I am now seeking yours. The time has come to dispel the final shadows on our path. I have hidden the truth, but I know a great deal about those who are disturbing the peace of the local ruler. I also know where they are hiding. Allow me to show you the way, on one condition, that you bring me to them.
Jay lets out the thing. Your kind are usually a bit better at bargaining. I always offer what can't be obtained with torture. Always offer what can't be obtained with torture or thrones. Yeah, why do you hold this information?
No other path was open to me, but now our paths are aligned. And my decision was motivated not by caprice, but by reason. It compels me now to walk with the person who can fix all this. The person who can fix all this. Everything you have discovered, everything you have learned from your coming, they are all traces of the same calamity. A calamity that will eclipse all the strife and wars on the face of this world. All the signs were plain to see, but I was here, and the monk who failed to recognize the coming storm. Please follow me. We must. If this world truly matters to me.
must have been brought here by Providence, or no. It was your will alone that brought you here. Become a blessing to the village. Let us go, time. I pray to the gods that we are not too late.
I sense danger. I better roll. Ooh. Ooh. Got some extra hustle. Dig it. Oh, nice. Select. Ooh. How to build your yet. I don't have an assassin. Oh, get everybody there and do their thing. That was easy. Okay, I cannot wait to see the yet in action doing some snipes.
Forge ahead. Never linger.
I've never seen so many plants before. Not even in our arboretum. Oh, that flower there. I read about it in one of the works by Janitor Canassian.
Your display of knowledge, atypical for a layperson, would warrant approbation. were it not for the fact that Genital Canassian was excommunicated approximately 3 centuries ago.
Very good defensive position. I'm gonna explore first.
Venture forth. Always striving for greatness.
Better start.
My actions speak louder than words. Let's seize the moment.
Right, no matter what.
They say I have a magnetic personality. That's certain.
Speak, Elantak. I align my path with yours.
Data meditation is terminated.
Stay sharp. Challenging me was a mistake.
I'll bleed you dry! Isn't this a job for the serfs? You're clad in scarlet.
Ooh, I do look at that cover. That's okay.
I am a navigator, not a servitor. Isn't this a job for the serfs? If I may,
You're right.
Let's set this in motion.
Let's make it quick.
Unpleasant. Done and done.
Hold on.
Costly mistake.
I'll do it. Doubt is for the weak. Faith without deeds is worthless. None can escape the Emperor's judgment. As the Emperor commands, I act.
I understand your intent. I am not your Xenos pet monkey.
One step ahead. Easy.
Here we go.
High momentum.
Am I getting paid for this? Don't get too cocky. You've got a problem? I've got a price.
My vow is to serve. The scriptural promise significant value. Request approved. Running binary combat is an equation. Your life is a negligible variable. Activating force mode, Acrobat.
Don't get too cocky. Going somewhere?
Watching the lazy handle sacred technology.
Trading is just like art. It takes skill and talent.
I'm listening. Cogitation failed.
You love to take charge, don't you?
Ready for data input.
Oh, thank you, Shireen.
Marching ahead. Onward to victory.
Damn it! I mean, just bad luck.
Perfect.
Operation successful.
Always striving for greatness.
Cass, light of mine eyes. Have you ever considered dyeing your hair? With your house's wealth, you could afford the finest treatments.
Why ever would I do that? I perceive the hues swirling in people's souls. Their masks cannot deceive my gaze.
My pleasure.
Watch your steps. Hope to see an Azuriani fail.
Forge ahead, never linger.
None are better at searching. Morak.
I woke up with a feeling of wonder, as if a field of flowers was blossoming nearby. A child was saved from death. 1,000 heretics were burning alive.
I must thank you.
Let's seize the moment.
Nice haul. That's decent for...
Do you dare to look me in the eye? Me? If you insist, Lord Captain. I'm not accustomed to being ordered around. I am a navigator, not a servitor.
yet still standing.
If I must.
Tell me, and it is done. Me, never in 1,000 sectors. Am I getting paid for this?
I'll do it. I will bathe this battlefield in righteous fury! Doubt is for the weak. Faith without deeds is worthless.
As said, so done. undone. Count me out.
If I may.
High momentum.
Let's set this in motion. For the dynasty! With purpose. They won't expect this. I know what to do. That is how it's done.
Be careful not to cross my gaze. Isn't this a job for the serfs?
Another soul slips beyond the veil. I am not your Xenos pet, monkey. This tedium is beneath me.
High momentum.
Venture forth.
Data meditation is terminated. Initiating bioreformation protocol.
Outstanding. Now back to the front line.
Of my attention.
Marching ahead.
might save that for either later today or a later date. Yeah, I think it's time for a break now. Happy Mother's Day, everyone. Thanks for joining me. I'll see you next time.